Did Omoyele Sowore just collapse? Wait a minute, did he just collapse? Before we find out what really happened, let me ask you all one simple question before we continue. Team VDM or Team Sowore? Because at this point, Abuja is looking like it has two different protest headquarters. Just a few days ago, social media was buzzing as Martins Vincent Ose, popularly known as VDM, was seen leading protesters and speaking passionately about insecurity and the challenges facing Nigerians. His videos and protest activities quickly gained attention online, with supporters praising his courage and willingness to.
But today you must make up your mind what you want to do. Do you want to change your lives, or do you want to continue residing in a damnable zoological republic with no hope, way, or means out of the mess that you're in? Why can't we change our lives? Those who are telling you that a revolution is not the best way to go about it, ask them, how come Russia is advanced today? How come the United Kingdom, Britain is advanced today? How come Germany is advanced today? How come France is advanced? How come Spain is advanced? How come the United States of America, of course the greatest country on this very earth, is where they are today? Is because in each and every of these countries there was a revolution. Either a violent overthrow of a very corrupt and inept regime, or there was what I would refer to as intellectual revolution. In Africa, none of these appears to be present at the moment. Those of them that commenced the NSAS protest tried as much as they can, but the forces that be overwhelmed them, the forces of darkness, the forces of hate, the forces of retrogression, the forces of iniquity prevailed, especially with the help of their journalists and their media houses. But this time around, we must prepare ourselves. But before we do so, we must ask this very important question. Are we all prepared for this very change that is about to come? Are we mentally tough enough to withstand all the garbage that will be thrown at us? Are you strong enough to jettison every emotional consideration that has to do with tribe, ethnicity, or religion? Once we are able to overcome all of this nonsense, believe you me, this very next phase of revolution will stand and stand very, very strongly. Everybody knows that Nigeria is a scam, a very big one at that. Nigeria is being run by an extremist bunch of dictators called the presidency. All of you know this. Everybody understands this very fact that Buhari is no more. You know that Buhari is dead, everybody knows. But those still perpetuating this very myth that Buhari is alive are those pinning their hopes on 2023. So this is a collection of odd bedfellows. These are people who are determined by every means available to cling on to power, to continue to impoverish you, to continue to allow terrorists from all across the Sahel to occupy your farmlands and your forests. They rape your mothers, they abduct your sisters, they kill your traditional rulers, they kill the daughters of your prominent men, and you do nothing about it. Because their only consideration is to keep you focused on this very elusive, better Nigeria to come. You and I know that Nigeria can never, ever be better. We know that very well. The whole world understands that Nigeria can never, ever be better. Why are you pinning your hopes on it? You're pinning your hopes on it so you can go to Dubai, like Atiku and the rest of them, and buy houses for your wives and your concubines. You are doing so because you think it's the turn of your village to eat money. And I have consistently asked this question. Biden, that has just been confirmed as the US president, is he from your village? Boris Johnson from the United Kingdom, is he from your village? Is Angela Merkel from your ethnic group? I'm asking you in the zoo. But you prefer to live in all these countries, which means that ethnicity is irrelevant. What matters is the policies being pursued by any specific or particular government or regime, not where they come from. When people tell you nonsense about it is our turn, why don't we wait till 2023? They are only deceiving you. And if you allow yourselves to be deceived, things can only get worse. Fulani terrorists will take over your land. Time and time again, I have warned you on this very matter, but some of you never ever listened. I told our Yoruba friends that this thing you're supporting, this very evil government you're supporting, when they tagged IPOB a terrorist group, you supported them. You are going to pay a very heavy price for it. Had the Yoruba journalist stood up and said, IPOB did nothing wrong, you cannot tag them a terrorist group, believe you me, by today, you will not have Fulani people occupying Yoruba forests and farmlands. Because in this life, what goes around comes around. If you support evil today because you're benefiting, eventually that evil will overwhelm you. The same thing happened to APC, the same thing happened to Fulani Caliphate. They brought in terrorists from all across the Sahel. They brought them into Nigeria to try to force Jonathan out of office. Now Jonathan is out of office. They are now, of course, reaping what they sowed, all of them. Do you see that the North is in as much disarray as we have in the South, if not worse? When they were grooming and breeding these terrorists, they thought they were doing it just to assume political power. They never knew there was another dimension to it. That these terrorists that they all created will come back to consume them. And that is what is happening today. It is the spillover of their same, should I say, terror effect that we are feeling right across the South. That was why we said with the launch of ESN that we cannot allow that nonsense to continue. They know they are not going to make any headway in the East. They have turned their attention to the West. They are forcibly occupying their land and telling them that they cannot do anything about it. A whole presidency in a country openly and brazenly supporting terrorists. All of you watching and listening all over the world, you know that Miyetti Allah is a terrorist organization. You know that. They have killed. They have said that Benue State is theirs for the taking as a spoil of war. All of you are aware of it. You know what they are doing. Anywhere you have Fulani headsmen, terrorists for that matter, they tell you, oh, they are pastoralists. They are allowed to do their businesses in the forest. All of you are aware of it. But you kept quiet, hoping that somehow Tinubu will emerge as the president, or an Igbo man will come as the president, and your family will start enjoying. But in the meantime, you have no more farmlands, you have no more forests, you have nowhere you can call your own home. The same stupidity exhibited by Hausa peasants that enabled Fulani to take Sokoto from them, that enabled Fulani to take Katsina from them, that enabled Fulani to take even Kanu from them. Every Hausa land is occupied either by a Fulani emir or a Fulani governor. Some of you don't want to reason, you don't ever learn that the main aim of Fulani is to conquer your land and enslave you. Look at Hausa people today. As I wrote yesterday, they are worse than a discarded tissue paper. They are worth nothing. Only their language is what is relevant in their lives. Everything else is lost. All of you are repeating the exact same mistakes that the Hausas made. That is why they are in trouble. And that is why they can never ever come out of it. They are all suffering from what I would an advanced version of the Stockholm Syndrome. Can you imagine that these people came into their land and took it over and they cannot do anything about it? Hausa is gone. It took Fulani very many years before they came out of their shell to say we are Fulani. Remember before, many years ago, they said we are Hausa Fulani. We are Hausa Fulani. Because that time, their subjugation of the Hausa race hasn't been completed. Now they have completed it. Have they not completed it? And what is happening right now? I ask you what is happening now. Fulani have now come out to tell you we are Fulani people. Is that not what they are saying now? They are not telling you we are Fulani. No more Hausa Fulani. What does that tell you? That the Hausa race no longer exists. Do you want the same thing to happen to you? Do you want the same thing to happen to your families? To your villages? Do you want your towns, let's say Obomosho, to be renamed into a Fulani name? Do you want Onisha to answer a Fulani name? Forget all the nonsense about unity of Nigeria. All they are uniting against is your common interest. Unless you prefer epileptic power supply, unless you prefer to live your whole life without running water, unless you want to live in abject poverty and deprivation, your only alternative is a revolution. Let nobody discourage you. All the countries of the world doing very, very well, they all went through a revolution. You must go through it. If you don't go through it, you can never ever survive as a people. Fulani will take you over. As simple as that. This very day, we are making it known to the whole world that the Muslim extremist dictatorship masquerading as a secular democratic government must be demolished. It must be demolished for you to survive. They have to be demolished. If you do not demolish them, your lives will end very, very miserably. I assure you. I assure you. The zoo is on its knees. Everybody knows that the zoo called Nigeria is on its knees. Who doesn't know that? Everybody knows. Nothing is functioning. You are all aware of it. When they say go and register for NIM or whatever, NIN or whatever rubbish is called, all of you trooped out without legislation, without any laws. Fulani can control you however they like. Once they announce it, Yoruba newspapers very foolishly and stupidly will support them because they want Tinubu as the president. And you are all dying every blessed day.